Likkutei Torah Drusha for Rosh Hashana, page Nun Ches, first column. We'll start again the Maamar. We talk about shofar. God will be when Mashiach comes. They're going to blow in the big shofar. The lost people from Hashem, the pushed away people from Mitzrayim, will come to bow to Hashem. So he says, Yesh lahavim asher kosev shofar gadol. Why does it say you blow in a big shofar? The Maamar used to the shofar gadol Yosef shofar sheinu gadol. What's the advantage of a big shofar over a small shofar? Like shofar Rosh Hashana ato. Like another pasuk says, you blow b'shofar, and it doesn't say shofar gadol. Okay, skip the brackets. Okay, like 6 lines. Okay, we learned this already. 1 second. How far did we get? No, we learned this already. I'm sorry. Not only that, we learned why it's called Rosh Hashana. Okay, and the way it comes into. Okay, second column, 10 lines to the top of the page. Rosh Hashana. So he says like this: why are the months called Rosh Hashana called Rosh Hashana instead of Tchilas Hashana or Rosh Chodesh? So he starts explaining that there's the highest kloli that comes down in Rosh Hashana, and then it comes through that into the rest of the body, just like the highest comes into the head, and from the head it goes to the rest of the body. But the Rosh Hashana comes Nimshul highest kloli Chol Hashana, and that's Amshachas highest Chol Nikra Rosh Hashana Tchilas Masach. Therefore, Rosh Hashana is called the beginning of your action. Why is it called Tchilas Masecha, the beginning of your Aveda? Because Rosh Hashana is Takat Tchila, it's a new revelation of Elokus that never existed before. And he says, Rosh Hashana dish Takat last year's Rosh Hashana li Nimshach HaChayis Rakol Shana Achas Mumayl Mi'azman Bizman. Like we discussed a lot last time, that just like Tikkun Chatzos and Shabbos is, the revelation is higher than Zman, it comes into time and place. So last year's Rosh Hashana revelation, which is higher than time and place, still came into time and place for a year. Now that year is up, the Keli's not there anymore, it checks out, we have to bring down a new order. And the reason why it checks out, why couldn't Hashem just make it constantly? The answer is because every year he wants a new revelation. If it would just be continuous, it would be the same SOS or same revelation from the previous years. What Hashem wants, every year should be a new revelation. Now how do you get a new revelation? You have to stop the old one. So therefore, the night of Rosh Hashana, it says in Chassidus, in Kabbalah, that the Gilui of Elokus leaves. It leaves. Last year's Rosh Hashana is not effective anymore. And Rosh Hashana in the morning, we have to reveal that level of Binyan HaMalchus. Also the beginning of creation. Even the initial first Rosh Hashana, when Adam Rishon was created, it was only Al Shana Achas Mumayla Me'azman. It came down a revelation higher than time. Hainu Shisha Alfi Shnin. Now the pasuk says until him, right? Ke'elef Shana Meinachal, 1,000 years is like one day. Therefore, the Rabbi explains what the Medrash says. Each day of creation represents a 1,000-year era. Why did Hashem create the world in 6 days? Because there's 6,000 years of creation. Then you have Mashiach. Hava Almem Shishiyam Mebuvat. Gam zel b'china zman u'lemayla mizeh ein shum zman kol iker. Therefore, higher than world, higher than time, there is no time. So the Gilui of Elokus that came into the world was a revelation of a Gilui Elokus higher than Zman coming into time. But it lasts a year. So therefore, at the beginning like this, the first Rosh Hashana was the Gilui above time for 6,000 years. then every year that revelation that existed from the beginning of creation comes into creation at this present year. ומשם נמשך חייס בראש השנה שנה אחת. ואחר כך בראש השנה שנקרא חג שהחידש מסכסה בי, that it says, Tiko b'chodesh Shefar, b'kesa. The Gemara says, because the passage says like this, in Tilim Yom Chamishi, right? Tiko b'chodesh Shefar, blow on Shefar, b'kesa when it's hidden. So the Medrash said, which Yom Tif is the moon hidden? The moon is hidden on Rosh Hashana. It's the only Yom Tif where there's no moon. We're just starting the moon. The first chayis from the previous year goes back to its source by day hashefer vatfilas, and through shefer and the davening it becomes another revelation for the year. So therefore, the Rebbe has the contradiction. Here it says Zayim Tchilas Masecha, the first day, and then it says only a remembrance of the first day. So is it the first day? It's not the first day. So the Rebbe is explaining it is the first day. Why is it called the first day? Because the Gilui that comes down on Rosh Hashana is a new Gilui for the entire year. So that's Tchilas Masecha. L'chein nikra Tchilas Masecha Mamash. Afal Pikein is only Zikaron L'Yom Rishon. It's only a remembrance of the initial Rosh Hashanah. Why is it only a remembrance, L'Yom Rishon, first day of creation? Because that was without Aveda. Ki b'Rosh Hashanah Rishon, it was Mitzad Atzmik Chavetz Chesed. It's only from actual kindness. In other words, there wasn't even Adam Rishon yet. Adam Ayin Laveda Sadama simply means there's no person to cultivate the land, but it means there was no person to do Aveda. So why did Elokus come down the first Rosh Hashanah? For that matter, until Matan Torah was Chavetz Chesed. Aval Achshav B'Serusa D'Sata Talia Milsa. It's up to our Aveda Mishana Sha'avra from the past year, and he says. Like we see, not all years are good. There's some good years, some bad years. If it's the same chayis continuously going, why is there a change in the year? So the answer is, why? What causes the change if it's a gilui, a good gilui of Elokus, to not such a... Oh, 1 second. Based on the Aveda of Eden in the previous year, that's the Gilui that's going to come down the next year. Jews were good, were very good, were not so good. That's what happens.
Over the 1,000 years?
Yeah. Eichom Ashivim Kain, Aribachin, is Rosh Hashana Ata, which is Dinu Mishpat, Afo Pisha Chesed Gever Aladin. Nevertheless, what happens in Rosh Hashana, there's more chesed than din. In other words, even though l'chayri you might ask, the people might not be worth that new gilui of Elokus, but Hashem gives them credit, like we said. So chen kein in Parsha So'akeda. Vayaked is Yitzchak b'nei Shuseid Gabris Chsadim d'Avram al Gvoris Yitzchak v'amtokev Sadid. What does the pasuk say? Vayaked Avram bundled, tied up, Yitzchak b'nai. So what does that mean, al pichsidis? Avram is chesed. Yitzchak is gvura, like we know, right? Avram and Yitzchak is chesed gvura. Vayaked is Yitzchak b'nai. Avram Avinu tied up the level of chesed. He controlled the level of chesed. I'm sorry, of gvura. He tied up the level of gvura, afal pikein. It's not mamish the first Rosh Hashana, which was mamish Chavetz Chesed. It's not anyone that can awaken it. So in other words, like this, the Alter Rebbe explains the pasuk Zayim Tchilas Masecha because Rosh Hashana through the Aved of Shofar and davening the Musaf is a revelation of the of Elokus down here. for the new year. That's the Hamshach of Elokus for the year. So Zayim Tchilas Masach. Nevertheless, it's not the same like it was at the beginning, 5,784 years ago. Why? Because then it was Chafetz Chesed. To now it's totally an Aveda. So therefore it's only Zikon Yom Rishon. It's only a remembrance of the first day. Ukeneged B'china Zu it says Zikon Yom Rishon. Zeichel B'lvad Yom Rishon Sha'af Al Pikein Agvoros Nimtokim. Nevertheless, why is it similar to the first day? Because just like the first day, it was Chesed. Now it's also Chesed, but Chesed controlling Din. Then there was no Din, because there was nobody to do bad. And he says, "V'gam yishlem." Okay, v'zeh shaman of zal. Skip the parentheses. Im lefani malchus b'Rosh Hashana. Say before me the malchus in Rosh Hashana. Shetamluchuni aleichem. You know what did Hashem say to the Jews? You say. Imru. It's up to you now to say it. You have to say it. You need to awaken this in awakening from below until that I can control you. Okay? So the Rebbe says what happens basically on Rosh Hashana is a gilui of revelation from above that never existed before. It comes into the Kelim, even though the Kelim might not be so ay, but the Eibishter controls the Gvura with Chesed. So it's only Zikon Yom Rishon. The first Rishon was Mamish Chesed, only Chesed. There was no Gvura. Now it became, I'm talking sa Gvura, I'm talking sa Din, and that's one of the reasons we read Akedes Yitzchak. It's not time to remember all the good things. The Aveda of Akedes Yitzchak was Chesed controlling Gvura. Binding Gvura. Limiting Gvura.
That concept is amazing.
Thank you. Everything in Chassidus is amazing.